The world's hottest chocolate. Everyone's talking about it on YouTube, going like, oh, it's so spicy. Sam and I are not a bunch of little babies, okay? Look how little this piece of chocolate is. How could this be that spicy? 3, 2, 1. All right, we're gonna chew it up. And swallow. It's really sweet. Tastes really good.
I feel it already.
Yeah, it's starting to hurt my mouth. My mouth hurts. It's like so misleading because it's so sweet at first.
Here's my water bottle, G.
We don't need it.
You sure?
Yep. Positive.
It hurts.
It hurts to breathe. Oh.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna cry.
I'm already crying. I've been crying.
Pick me up. My ears hurt. My eardrums are exploding. Look, I'm crying. I'm crying like a little bitch. This is the spiciest thing I've ever eaten.
I need to spit.
I can't stay here and watch you anymore.
Woo!
I feel like I'm in the borderline of throwing up.
Not having fun anymore. Spiciest thing I've ever eaten in my life, for sure. Like, I've had a ghost pepper before. This is like way worse. This chocolate is fucked up. I do not recommend buying this ever. Don't even try it. It's really, but if you do, just use my affiliate links. I want to profit off your misery. That's my goal in life.
Ears just popped.
I think I'm gonna throw up. Whew, all right, I took a shower, I brushed my teeth, I read the Bible. All right, today we're talking about one of my least favorite parts of filmmaking and doing a really great job getting you guys excited, right? We're talking about something really, really boring today. But more specifically, we're talking about a night before kind of a big shoot. There's many things to talk about the day before a shoot, and I used to get like serious anxiety the night before a big shoot. I was always like, am I ready? Am I fully prepared? Am I even good enough to be doing this? A lot of times it could be like a sleepless night, and I'm realizing now that this is actually pretty common. A lot of people can relate to this. I've dealt with that a lot, especially my first few years of doing this professionally, but you know, with time and experience, you just don't even think about it anymore. You just show up and you do your job. A lot of that comes down to having the confidence that you are prepared mentally, but also technically. So today we're talking about how to prep your gear the day before the shoot so you don't show up and you realize, oops, I don't have a tripod plate, so I can't put the camera on the tripod. So tomorrow I got a shoot coming up, and it's a relatively simple one, but I'll never show up to a shoot without having done a gear prep session prior. Time it takes for you to prep the equipment should be something that you should be considering when you're putting together a bid, because all the time it takes to prep all your gear and pack it and make sure everything's good, I consider that time working. And major big productions can hire a whole camera crew for a full day rate just to go and prep the gear, because it's that important. A lot of rental houses will allow you to do the gear prep at their space, just in case there's anything wrong, then they can just provide you with another one right then and there. But tonight we're gonna do a simple gear prep with some of the stuff we have here, and I'll just talk you guys through what I do. So step number one is to make a detailed list of all the camera gear that you own. I like to categorize everything just like this. So we got camera, lenses, and we'll keep going down this list as we go. It's on a spreadsheet, and on the second column, I list every single accessory that belongs to that unit. Be as detailed as you can be. We're talking every little cable, a handle, or monitor, anything that comes on or off that camera. And then on the third column, I have the rental rates for everything. And that part's key, is because you need to be charging for gear that you invest. If you're gonna buy yourself a camera like this, you're probably gonna be telling yourself, oh, it's an investment, it'll be worth it. An investment is something you put your money towards, and it ties up your money for a while, but when you get it back, it comes out worth more. Just like the stock market, and cameras shouldn't be any different. I know from experience that the fastest way to work your ass off and not make any money is not charging for gear, because that's what I used to do. I used to constantly upgrade to the newest, latest, greatest gear, but then never really changed my day rate that much, and I hustled my ass off for years, never really made any profit, because I was constantly taking all the profits and putting it straight towards the gear. And it's cool and all, because that's my passion and all, but when you're trying to make it your business, it's completely different. Unfortunately, you can't pay rent with good footage. Wouldn't that be great if you could though? Your landlord comes like, hey, where's my rent? And then you're like, well, I don't have cash, but here's some beautiful slow-mo footage of this waterfall, and your landlord's like, wow, Awesome, walks away. So whenever someone says, hey, how much would this project cost? It's always a tough answer because it's like, okay, well, what do you need? And once we get all the details, we go, okay, this is how much pre-production time we need. This is how much time we need on set. And this is how much time we need to edit. And gear rentals will get its own separate section. That way, when we get the check in the mail, we go, okay, this goes towards the camera and this is profit. Don't do what I used to do and just blur everything together because literally you will not make a profit. All right, so tomorrow we're shooting on this Red, but also packing this EOS R as kind of our backup camera. Always good to have backups because even the best cameras fail sometimes. So for this camera, I have literally everything listed from batteries, battery chargers, memory cards, memory card reader, the base plate, the 2 short rails, the long rails. Literally, if it can possibly come off the camera, it's on this list. So Red camera, ready to go. EOS R is quite a bit simpler. I have the camera, the EF mount adapter, the batteries, battery charger, and memory cards, memory card reader. Check, check, check. All right, we're good to go. These 2 cameras are good. You're gonna want a nice clean workspace where it's not gonna get jumbled up. So I actually have a space here for loading in and out, but you could just use a table like this as long as it's clean and there's not a bunch of clutter on there. I'm not gonna show up to the set and be like, where's that memory card? I swear I was playing with it yesterday, and you realize you tucked it in a weird corner. Everything that we prep here does not leave this table until it goes into the vehicle tomorrow. Also very useful to have your prep space right next to a bunch of power outlets. That way you can have all your batteries charging on your prep space. It can literally be anywhere as long as tomorrow morning when I wake up without coffee, I can look at this table and be like, all right, I got everything. And I can take off without stressing about forgetting something. Another little tip is to label all your items and accessories, especially things like SD cards or little common sized batteries, because those will eventually get mixed up. SD cards are like socks in a dryer. You'll lose that thing unless you label it. So go label them right now. I know you've got some that are unlabeled sitting out there. Grab a Sharpie, write your name on there. You will not regret this. All right, category number 2, glass. This is all pretty straightforward. We got our lenses, and I usually like to attach the lens. That way I'm confident that I've got the right mounts on the lens in case you've got adapters on the glass, and I also have the proper lens mount on the camera. And we're basically trying to eliminate anything that could possibly go wrong because little things here can screw up your whole shoot. I once rented the camera, didn't feel like I needed to do the gear prep there. Then I tried to slap the PL mount onto the Arri Alexa Mini and turned out it had an EF mount on there, and I was like, well, this isn't gonna work at all. So I got my camera on, I hit the record button, it's recording. That means the lens is good, there's a battery on it, the memory card's good to go. This is the green light that, hey, as long as we have this right here, we can record something. Now, most people would categorize this as a camera accessories. This is a matte box, but me personally, I group this with the lenses. That way, while I'm thinking about the lenses, I know, oh, I have the right size clamp rings. Maybe you have some thread-on filters. I would group that in with the lenses as well and make sure all my filters are good to go. So when I go through lenses, I'm looking at the specific lens, but also everything that attaches to the lens back here and up here. By the way, this is my process for prepping for like mid-size shoots. If you have less gear, this is gonna be much more simplified. If you're on a huge major production, then it's a whole process of checking all the back focus on every single lens, cleaning all the filters, and all this other stuff to perfect your setup. You may also want to dial in as many settings as you can. Tomorrow I'm going to be shooting in 5K at 24 frames per second in 16:9. I'm going to dial all that in right now. Literally anything I can possibly do tonight to save time tomorrow morning, I'm going to do it. Next is camera support. So we have our setup here. What is this going to sit on? And this can be a gimbal, a slider, a tripod. If you're putting it on a gimbal, I do recommend setting it up and making sure everything balances correctly. You don't want to show up and be like, oh, it actually turns out it doesn't balance on this matte box, so we're gonna have to figure out a way to ND it down. But the most important rule I have is to never ever pack and zip up a tripod case without making sure that there's a base plate on this tripod. You don't want to be that rookie that shows up with a tripod and you can't put the camera on the tripod. So guess we're going handheld. I personally bought a spare, that way I can leave one on here and also pack this up with a tripod head every single time. Now I know I sound like I'm being overly cautious about some of this stuff, but forgetting something can be a career ender. Imagine showing up to your first big shoot and being like, oh, I forgot the memory card for my Red camera. Anyone have a Red mag laying around? No? Is there a Best Buy nearby? Oh, they don't sell those either? Can we just postpone this shoot by a couple days? You probably won't forget anything on your first major jobs, but once you start getting comfortable and you stop thinking about it as often, that's when it gets kind of dangerous. Riding a motorcycle, super dangerous, but most of the time people don't have a severe crash while they're just starting off because they're so cautious. Once you start getting so comfortable to the point where you're not as careful about your safety, that's when something goes wrong. So never get too comfortable on a motorcycle or when prepping gear. Next is camera camera accessories. So anything that you might stick on here, we're talking extra monitors, we're talking follow focus units. We generally just keep this bag full of accessories, like anything like gaff tape or things to clean your lenses, lens wipes. And again, depending on your process, this can be a very tedious setup, because when you slow down and take the time to prep, this is when you realize, ooh, I just realized I need a P-tap splitter or longer rails. The things that are not obvious are the things that are dangerous, which is exactly why people don't forget to bring the tripod. They forget to bring that tripod plate. Admit it, you've done it before. Either that or showed up to a spot and you're like, uh-oh, no memory card in here. I've forgotten both. So that's probably why I'm so anal about all this stuff. Everything's working nice and smooth. And again, none of this stuff leaves the table now. Real quick, Sam, I got a question to ask you. What's the worst thing you've forgotten to a film set to before?
Oh, memory cards, batteries.
You just named off like two of the worst things you could have forgotten. Another reason why it's a good idea to set everything up the night before is something I saw recently where there was a couple of HDMI cables, but there weren't enough because there was a monitor being fed, but also there was a Teradek wireless transmitter which used another one, and then the receiver needed another cable into the monitor, and that monitor was feeding to a bigger client monitor. And yeah, there were like HDMI cables in there, but there wasn't enough, and some of them had like a angle to it which didn't fit certain devices. Stupid things like that we can catch by setting it up tonight. The whole camera package ready to go. So we're gonna pack everything up nice and safe in its hard cases. And the rule of thumb I have for these cases is to never ever leave a case sitting unattended like this. Because as soon as you step away for 2 seconds, somebody's gonna come and try to be helpful, pick it up by this handle, and it's gonna send thousands of dollars of glass across the room. So if it's something I'm constantly accessing, I leave it open like this. If it closes, I gotta latch it, and I never pick up a case without making sure it's latched. Because I've had people tell me never close a case without locking it, and I've had people say never pick it up without making sure the latches are closed, so I do both. A lot of times if you're just camera department, you're good to go. But tomorrow we are doing the lighting and audio as well. We're shooting on a penthouse, shooting out of a window, and it's gonna be midday, so we need as many daylight colored lights as possible to counter that backlight. So I'm packing this Fresnel, I'm packing this Aperture 120D and this Aperture 120D Mark II. All this is coming with me because when you're filming and the background is just broad daylight, you need as much punch as possible. I'm not gonna take them down right now because I'm using it for this set, but I'm gonna make sure I got the light fixtures and the accessories for it. So we're talking the dome light mini, this dome light, the barn doors. So we got our 3 light fixtures. Next category is grip and electric. So we gotta make sure we at least have 3 stands, and stands for any other thing you might want. Flag, silk, diffusion, gels, extension cables, or stingers as we like to call it, if you want to act like you know stuff. And the next category is audio, and again, it helps to just divide up all these categories. That way you're not just thinking about everything. It's like, I generally got everything. It helps to focus in on one category at a time. That way you're only thinking about how many lights do I need? How many stands do I need? How many microphones do I need? So audio, again, always good to test out. Make sure you got your XLR cables, your microphones, your lavaliers. Got my recorder over here, battery power for it. Again, every little thing that I might forget, I'm gonna put it on that list and check it off. But again, I'm using this right now, so I can't really pack it up. Next is your computer setup in case you're doing data backups or anything like that on set. For me, I have my laptop, my charger. I have to have a little dongle thing because I got a MacBook, whole gaggle of hard drives. And finally, if you're responsible for any sort of props or set dressing or even makeup, literally list all this stuff out. I once directed an ice cream commercial and I literally forgot the ice cream in the freezer. So yeah, lists are your friend. For that shoot, I did grab all the gear off that corner, but I forgot to check the fridge. So now what I do for times like that is I leave my car keys in the fridge. So that way I literally cannot take off without checking the fridge. And sometimes I do that with battery chargers. If I'm charging a battery and I'm like, I cannot forget this tomorrow morning, I'll just hook my keys onto the battery charger. Hopefully this was helpful to some of you guys. And as long as this saves one person from forgetting a tripod plate to set, I have done my job. Oh, but seriously, I do actually have to start packing up some of this stuff for my shoot tomorrow. So if you guys could kind of like go away. So the shoot went well. We did not forget anything.
Did not forget.
We showed up on set and we brought all the gear we were supposed to bring. Yo, I like how you thought about that. But the best part is we got Steve to agree to trying one of these pieces. It's a teeny little piece.
I can already feel it on my tongue.
It's kind of sweet though, right? It tastes kind of good.
I don't taste the sweet at all.
Top comment was having to keep it afloat using a balloon thing. There's an up joke in there. Dang it. I thought we were done and clear of these up jokes.
It's very, very hot. I'm trying to let my eyes just run out.
No. Steve doesn't need no water.
Wait, that's who?
You do not need you don't need any. When you need it, you can have it.
That's why I reached for it. Oh, here comes my nose.
All right, Matt 222. Potato Jet uses a submarine camera. Me, inspired by Potato Jet, uses my M50 and filmed the fish in the fish tank at my dad's office. You're composing yourself pretty well.
I need to blow my nose. That's what I need to do. My entire sinuses were just like.
Sam just took another piece. Prolo says, me, never bring condom to pool. Literally no one leaves condom at pool. Potato Jet, play with condom in pool. We had a blast playing with condoms in the pool.
They tasted good, that's for sure. You ever tasted a condom? Carolina Reaper says between 1.4 million and 2.2 million.
And this is 9 million Scoville units?
That says 9 million.
Oh.
I can't.
Oh my god. Gene, try it.
No. It's fine. Ah! I immediately regretted this. Okay, I'm still good though. It's not that bad as of right now. How to improve editing skills. My workflow seems to take forever. Need your help, Potato Jet. Actually, editing takes forever no matter what. You gotta be patient. You gotta do it over a couple different sessions. Editing, by far, the longest process out of my entire workflow. We film our videos pretty quick. And Sam's been helping me edit a whole bunch of the videos. And even still, it's hard for me to even just do 2 videos a week. How did you stay so calm, Steve?
Oh my god. I was trying to be so brave.
Is that Steve Kerr's brother or the man himself? This is the man himself, Steve. Why did I do it again?
Prism Guy said, I'm so happy this condom thing worked. Potato Jet 2000. Oh, he was quoting. Flyby Francis said, this turtle looks like he's in love with a cocoa.
That turtle's so ugly.
It looked like Shrek.
Sammy Ames says, who wants to explore my feelings using this drone? No one? Okay. Did I just see a flame shoot out of your butt? Chibi Chan says, breaking news. Florida man found putting strawberry flavored condoms on water drone.
That's this guy.
Ooh, I'm gonna put a condom on your drone. Watch out!